For being aware in the instant from this and other information, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The UK has decided to let Huawei continue to be used in its 5G networks but with restrictions, despite pressure from the US to block the firm. The Chinese firm will be banned from supplying kit to sensitive parts of the network, known as the core. In addition, it will only be allowed to account for 35% of the kit in a network's periphery, which includes radio masts. And it will be excluded from areas near military bases and nuclear sites. Huawei is reassured by the UK government's confirmation that we can continue working with our customers to keep the 5G rollout on track, the firm's UK chief Victor Zhang said in a statement. It gives the UK access to world-leading technology and ensures a competitive market. The Prime Minister had faced pressure from the US and some Conservative MPs to block the Chinese tech giant on the grounds of national security. A Trump administration official has said the US is disappointed with the decision. Beijing had warned the UK there could be substantial repercussions to other trade and investment plans had the company been banned outright. The choice has been described as the biggest test of Boris Johnson's post-Brexit strategy to date. Newt Gingrich, a Republican and former Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, described it as a strategic defeat for his country. Huawei has always denied that it would help the Chinese government attack one of its clients. The firm's founder has said he would shut the company down, rather than aid any spying activities. Conservative MP Tom Tugendhat, former chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, tweeted that the government's statement leaves many concerns and does not close the UK's networks to a frequently malign international actor. New 5G suppliers. 3 out of 4 of the UK's mobile networks had already decided to use and deploy Huawei's 5G products in the periphery. We want world-class connectivity as soon as possible, but this must not be at the expense of our national security, said Britain's Digital Secretary Baroness Morgan. High-risk vendors never have been and never will be in our most sensitive networks. VTZE has some of Huawei's equipment in its core but is in the process of replacing it. This is a good compromise between alleviating security concerns and making sure that the 5G UK market is not harmed, commented Dimitris Mavrakis, a telecoms analyst at Abbey Research. It means there will be minimal disruption to existing 5G rollout plans. The government has also said the UK needs to improve the diversity in the supply of equipment to the country's telecom networks. At present, beyond Huawei, there are 4 main providers. Ministers will support the emergence of new, disruptive entrants to the supply chain, and promote the adoption of open, interoperable standards, a statement from the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport said. The new rules still have to be debated and approved by MPs. Tim Morrison, a former U.S. National Security Council official, urged them to rebel. There is still time for backbenchers in both parties to save the special relationship and the privacy rights of Britons if they vote to block this mistake by the government. What is the core and why is Huawei being kept out of it? A mobile phone network's core is sometimes likened to its heart or brain. It is where voice and other data is routed across various sub-networks and computer servers to ensure it gets to its desired destination. While once, a lot of this involved physical equipment known as routers and switches, in the 5G world much of this kit has been virtualized. That means software rather than specialized hardware now takes care of much of the job. This opens the door to new capabilities. But a perceived risk is that it could also open the system up to new kinds of attack. And even if encryption means the information being handled cannot be spied upon, the fear is that a rogue participant could still crash the network, or at least disrupt the data flow. How does this differ from the rest of the network? The core is distinct from the radio access network, which is sometimes referred to as the periphery. The RAN includes the base stations and antennas used to provide a link between individual mobile devices and the core. Insiders sometimes describe this as the innovative but dumb part of the network. That is because new traffic management software and other advances mean more traffic can be handled than before, but the equipment does not actually affect what happens to the data itself beyond transmitting it back and forth.